Hello, guys, and welcome back to Trekyards. He is Commander Cockings.
He's Captain Foley.
And today we have a very short review for a very short trek.
For the fourth time.
Yes, and not arguably, but definitively the best time for very short treks, in my opinion. Fantastic episode, written by Aaron Waltke, the writer for Prodigy, who did two of the best episodes of Prodigy Season 1, Kobayashi Maru, and All the World's a Stage. We love Aaron, and really thankful for this short for multiple reasons. So what did you think of the short when you saw it, Samuel?
Couldn't Aaron write them all?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I think we gave one of them a 2 out of 10. I mean, they're really not good shorts. The first one's okay, but they're on a very, very low bar. This is a very high bar. I mean, it's not even close. It's a world apart. This is both fun. It's silly. I mean, it should have been longer. Like, I know obviously it's a premise within premise, but I wish it had another minute. You know what I mean? It's the shortest one so far, yet the best. So that's kind of sad. But it's having fun, it's celebrating almost all of Trek. It's successfully, and I mean, you know, if you've been asked to write a successful 2-minute with starting and closing credits, anything is very difficult. So the fact that he achieved that is very talented, because I don't know if I could do a 2-minute piece. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Stuart, in more detail?
Well, I was intrigued by the name, Holograms all the way down, and sure, it delivered. It was just hologram program on hologram program on hologram program. And we got to visit, like, all the eras. We got some voice actors back. But seeing Enterprise in animated form was kind of awesome. Got Trip back, which is cool. And I noticed they did the same thing with Trip that they do with me whenever anybody animates me. They get the hair color wrong. He was never blonde. I went back and looked, and it's got a little bit of a blonde sheen to it, but it's more of a brown color. He looked really odd being that colored blonde. Like, I think they could have come up with a better color, personally. But anyway, rolling through everything and actually getting Prodigy in here as well after it was dumped by Paramount Plus. Yes, thank you. Although they were kind of oddly done. They were just in the animated style. They weren't CG, so it was...
I mean, it's such an oddity, because, of course, if you weren't doing a series of these, where clearly, you know, they tried to get the same actors to be in many. I mean, Riker's been in 2, and Ethan's been in 2, and, you know, they're obviously trying to... Saru's been in 2. They're obviously... You know, imagine actually going to an actor who Trip, you know, if this is only one. It's like, right, could you please record 9 words? You know, we'll pay you $3,000 to do 9 words for your first appearance in Trek in 20 years. Like, it's such an interesting concept. And obviously, when it was pitched, we assumed, okay, there'd be the Neelix one, the Ethan Peck one. There'd be characters, like, give them something to do, right? They haven't really done that per se. Yet last week was more with Riker and Beverly. That was actually a more real performance. But knowing that then they're hiring them to use them as many times as possible, because once you've got them there, just record 10 more words and now you've got them. So this was cram-packed, of course, but it wasn't. It was just, it was the Hemmer actor saying one more word, right? Great, quick, just do one more word. Okay, now episode 3. Like, that's all it is. But by doing it, it does give this hugely broad feel, which is an obscene amount of crossover with everyone returning in different ways. But you wouldn't hire him to say one word normally, right? So it was an interesting experience for that. But yeah, seeing Tendi, seeing Zero. Is it the biggest crossover ever? Yes. Is it canon? No, not remotely. Like, kind of liked... I know this is odd, but I actually wish they'd ended on the 31st century Saru and done something canon. Like, not canon, but like conceptually logical, and stayed in the future and had some sort of overarching something, because that was going to make sense structurally. Like, the eras were lining up, which would have been fun. To go to the silly at the end, I didn't understand it. Like, you're not meant to understand it, but that wasn't as good to me as it been, like, because he had a strong start, strong end. But I get going ultra silly. But it would have been cool maybe if, like, Saru then gone back in time somehow and then met Art Trip in the first scene and stopped them from blowing up, and then you could have, like, had and then you could have if you'd done that, you could have repeated all the scenes again. But now Riker didn't see the explosion, say something different to Troy, who then said, like, you could have actually had repeating a loop of time travel. Would have been kind of silly, but that's a different plot, I would say. I don't know, what do you think of ending with a ridiculous versus a grounded?
it suited the very short trek feel, at least, for just being ridiculous and off the wall the way it ended. I would have preferred something more realistic, like you said. But yeah, this amalgamation of we got like Riker, T'Pol, Trip, Spock, and Uhura all like merged into one being was odd to say the least. But interesting visual, I suppose. So Sulu, George Takei, was that actually his real voice?
He might have been trying to play young Sulu, so losing that because he sounded darker and grumpier, which obviously he was playing.
This is the whole thing this year was the anniversary of the animated series, and to celebrate with animated Trek shorts. That's what this was about. This is the only one I think that actually comes close to actually being like an homage to all Star Trek in animated form, as opposed to the other ones, which are just kind of gross and disgusting and not funny half the time. This one actually kind of shone in that regard. Like, Aaron understood the assignment that he was given and did a great job with it. So I really wish Garrick would have actually said something, though. I was looking forward to hearing Andrew Robinson as Garrick instead of just slurping on a root beer float. But no, it was fun. It was fun. And it kept surprising me because just when I thought that's the last one, it's not. And yeah, this was a very good short trek.
Yeah, because it did a real story, like a real. I mean, episode 1 and 3 are real stories, but this respected everything in a way that the others just didn't. And it's sad because if Aaron had written all 5, we could have had a really good ensemble piece, and if he had written all 5, he could have actually structured it so you'd have the characters interwoven more organically, even more organically. You could even have like a meta story like the What Ifs from Marvel. You know, it's sad. These things could have been great. It's almost a problem that they did a good one because it shows they can make good ones. The fact they made 3 bad ones is like, oh no, if they'd all been bad, they'd say, well, this is a failed experiment, but they made a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, like the idea of standalone short stuff like that's cool, but they pointed out it's very much not canon, which is fine. But it would have been cool to have like these shortest stories, but all one story. So when you put them together, it's kind of like a 15 or 20 minute long kind of thing. Would have been neat. So like to even have each short in a different time period, showing the different animated.
Like the idea we had years ago.
In animated style, yes. But kind of come together to be one kind of story, even though it's all comical, would have been great. But no, I think these are kind of. I thought they were going to be fun. Most of them haven't been, but we need more like this one. So thank you.
At least we got one.
Comment down below what you thought about this particular very short trek. Let us know your feelings, thoughts. Do it. Comment section. That's what it's there for. Subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like button. We really appreciate that. It helps out the channel immensely. And also click that bell notification icon to all so you don't miss any of our edited content and or our lives where we get to hang out with you guys.
And while you're there, Stuart, you could click on the super chat button, put in anything you want to help what we do here, there, and everywhere. More the days of the week. Because, we do lots of lives, lots of different videos everywhere. I suppose other ways like the Patreon, join the channel, or join the channel on YouTube. Their monthly services, anything and everything. Month does make a big difference. Or PayPal, trekyards@hotmail.com, or buy a shirt. Have our faces on your chest. Today. After you order it.
And on that note, he is Commander Cockings.
He's Foley.
And we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.